Kaushik, wonderful to have you on the show and very warm welcome.
Thank you very much, Udayan. My pleasure to be talking to you.
Thank you. Well, as I said, a good starting point for the series would be to examine where the Indian economy is today post-COVID. Because the assessment of it differs depending on who you are. Some think it's a robust and sustainable recovery. Some believe it's quite fragile. What do you think? Is it a strong rebound, or do you think it's an uneven one, even bordering on fragile?
Udayan, see, the rebound is pretty strong, 9.2%. But, so it's not the fragility of it. What is important to understand is that India had dropped down quite a bit. 7.3% was the negative growth last year. So a large part of the sharp growth, and it is a genuine sharp growth, is from that bottom of the pit. So what is worrying is the following. India dropped more than most other countries. The pandemic management probably caused it. The pandemic was there. So all over the world, GDPs were dropping. India's dropped more than in other countries, perhaps to do with the management. We will come back to those details. Now, if you take the bounce back and then flatten it over 2 years, with the Government of India data, India's GDP growth over 2 years has been 0.6% per annum. India's population is growing at roughly 1.2% per annum or 1.1% per annum, which means once you put these two together, India's GDP per capita is actually shrinking over the last 2 years. The average growth is about minus 0.5%, a tiny shrinkage taking place. On top of that, and this is all not fragility, but the nature of the growth. The top end of India is doing pretty well. All kinds of data coming out from Oxfam, even Government of India data, if you look carefully. If you're reasonably well off in India, you're not doing badly at all. But the bottom segment is doing badly from all accounts. So where the problem lies is that if you're in the bottom half of India, the modern terminology of this is a K-shaped recovery. The top end is going up, the bottom is coming down. That in India is very, very marked. So overall growth for the per capita GDP is slightly negative over 2 years, Government of India data. Bottom doing worse than the top, which is growing. The top is actually becoming better off per capita, which means for the bottom segment, it is a very difficult situation. And it's not all to do with the pandemic. The pandemic has caused it. But in India, from 2016, every year's growth has been less than the previous year's growth, which has not happened in India ever since 1947. A 5-year run where each year is lower than the previous year. Last year, of course, now it's picking up. But before that, the stretch of 5 years is each year doing worse. So all this has caused a situation where overall growth, even if it has become sustainable, and really India has the strength, we can go back to that, it is a pretty grim situation for the workers, for the farmers, for even the middle classes, because it's a K-shaped recovery, very, very marked.